Meeting
All
is now
right.
streaming live.
We did it. We're live again with a new show.
We evolved. We're like the Pokemon.
All right.
The Pokemon.
I was gonna say the Pokemon or something, but I just cut it off.
Just like the Pokemon.
Are you on gallery view or speaker view?
It should already be on gallery view.
Just checking.
All right, guys, we're live,
Great.
which is super duper exciting. Yeah. How do we start it? This is our first time ever, a new show.
Love the name, by the way.
Some of you have been watching. I assume everyone who's watching this has watched Quarren Screenplays, our previous show that we have been doing for the last 10 weeks, where we read various unproduced screenplays from throughout our lives. And this, oh my goodness, there he is.
Here he is.
Matt, what's up, man? Oh, he's muted himself.
Oh, you know how much
Hey, dude, how are you?
How you guys doing? Can you hear me? How you doing?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm doing okay. Get myself set up.
You're
Sweet,
good.
sweet,
Take
sweet.
your time.
Hi, everybody.
This is,
I'm Matthew.
this is
Hey,
Matthew.
Matthew.
Hi, Matthew.
This is awesome because
Hi,
we're
guys.
actually live right now, and so you guys get to meet Matt live.
Wow. Like the Kardashians.
So I
Hello,
was.
everybody.
Yes, everybody, this is Matthew J. Lindblom. His agent called me beforehand and said I have to refer to him as such every time we say his name. One, a dear old friend.
I also get $3 every time.
Yes, for sure. Yep. All right. This show has a higher budget than Quarren Screenplays did, so we can cover your fee just fine. But yeah, so we were just explaining that we have transitioned into a new show here. This is first and final for those of you who watched last week. Don't worry, Matt. You watched last week. You got it. We wrote the script that
Yeah, it was
we're
great.
doing tonight. We finished writing it 10 seconds before we went live. So
Wow.
this is the first and final draft of that script, and we are going to perform it for you today. Matt, did you get the script?
Looking at it right now.
Fantastic.
It's
Matt,
important
you'll be playing Steven, by the way.
Great.
It's important Matt knows that we finished the draft 10 seconds before we went live. Did you tell him when we started the draft? That feels important to everyone.
Yeah, so we started writing at 7:00 Eastern time. So we gave ourselves exactly 1 hour to write this. And the result, this is called Close Encounters of the Ninth Caller. And we're not going to tell you any more than that. But basically what our process is we take our film, we split it up into 4 scenes. We come up with what those 4 scenes might be on a very, very broad sense. And we divvy it up between the 4 of us. We take about 45 minutes and each of us write our scene. And then I take about 15 minutes and try to stitch it together into something that is mildly coherent and flows as a story.
Wow.
So what's fun about this is a lot of things, but one of which is all 4 of our writing styles really come through in how we've written a character that we didn't know who they were going to be when we first came up with them. So it's a fun little exercise for us to see just what we can do together. And it normally ends up with some very silly results. So let's divvy up characters real quick. This would normally be something we do right beforehand, but all right, who? So Matthew, you'll be playing Steven, our protagonist.
Okay.
Jordan, Ryan, Max, does one of you feel like you can do a really soothing voice?
Sure.
All right, Jordan, you're going to be the meditation app voice.
Okay.
Ryan, you're going to be Scotty.
Scotty.
Of course, someone's named Scotty.
Max, you are going to be Terry.
Terry, great.
And then I will be the captain, as well as reading scene description.
Makes sense.
And then Max, you be Aaron.
Terry and Aaron. Got it.
And Jordan, you be Frank.
Okay.
Okay, and then Max, you will also be. I'm so sad I have to say this before. I wanted people.
No, I
to,
know who you're saying. I could just be that person.
Yeah, you'll be that character.
Okay.
All right. So now that we've done all our administrative stuff on the air, incredibly unprofessional.
How do you want to give a quick log line of this, or
Sure. I mean, this is a movie about a guy who wins a trip to space by calling into a radio show. That is my 3-second pitch for it.
love it?
And so without
Okay.
further ado, everybody ready to go?
Oh yeah.
Ready?
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Matt, I'm so excited. You're way too good for this, man. You're way too good for this. This is
No, this is so exciting. This is so exciting to me. I'm not even joking.
all right. Interior
do it.
bedroom day. Steven is lying in bed staring at the ceiling. He's clearly just woken up. He blinks the sleep out of his eyes and reaches for his phone, which is sitting on a nightstand. He pushes a few buttons on the phone and then places it face down on his chest. He closes his eyes and makes a big scene of getting comfortable. After a moment, soft music begins playing and a meditation app speaks to him in a vaguely mechanical voice that's so soothing it's almost menacing.
Repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I am loved and appreciated for who I am, not what I do.
I am loved and appreciated for who I am and not what I do.
Good things are going to happen to me, and I am deserving of them.
Good things are going to happen to me, and I am deserving of them.
You have reached the end of your free Soothsayer subscription.
I have reached the end of my free Soothsayer subscription.
He opens his eyes, confused.
If you wish to access the rest of this guided meditation, please upgrade to one of our paid.
Steven shuts his phone off and tosses it aside. He sighs. Interior kitchen day. Steven is sitting in a sagging recliner, a bowl of cereal balanced on one knee, a laptop balanced on the other. On the screen, the website for a travel company. Steven is practically shouting into his phone.
No, listen, I'm on your website and it specifically says that customers are entitled to a full refund, no questions asked, if they cancel at least 30 days prior to their departure date.
We can't hear what the person on the other end of the call is saying, but it's pissing Steven off.
See? That's a question. You can't tell me that I'm allowed to cancel my trip, no questions asked, and then ask me to provide you for a reason of why I'm canceling. Fine. Fine. I was getting married and now I'm not getting married. That sudden and major change of plans has rendered a honeymoon somewhat unnecessary, don't you think? Is that enough exposition for you?
Interior car day. Steven is stuck in traffic on his way to work. He's dressed in a fast food worker uniform. He flips through stations on the radio, eventually stopping on a cheesy local morning show.
And that's why I make my mom send me a card on Mother's Day.
Steven reaches to change the station again.
And we're almost at the top of the hour. So if you're about to change that station, you better not.
Steven stops.
It's Friday, and y'all know what that means for us here, the Terry Thomas Power Hour. Another giveaway. And this week's a doozy, folks. The fine dweebs and jorks over at Spacebook are letting us give one lucky caller a seat aboard the maiden voyage of their new rocket. So let's say caller number 9. Caller number 3, 9 will be our lucky winner. The phone lines are open. If you're not calling already, you're probably too late. But just in case, here's that number one more time. 1-800-TERRY time.
Steven grabs his phone out of the cup holder and hurriedly punches the numbers in as Terry says them. He holds the phone up to his ear. Busy. He cancels the call and dials again. Busy. He takes a deep breath and dials one more time.
Good things are going to happen to me, and I'm deserving of them.
Hello, caller number 9.
Steven looks at his phone, unable to tell if Terry's voice is coming from it or the radio.
Hello.
Hi. Hey. I think I'm caller number 9.
You got a name, caller number 9?
Yes. It's Steven.
Well, happy birthday, Steven.
How'd you know it was my birthday?
Oh, I didn't. That's just something people say when you're giving them good news or whatever.
Oh,
Anyways, congratulations, Steven. You're going to outer space.
Exterior. Strip mall day. Steven pulls into the parking lot of an old strip mall. He looks around with a bit of hesitancy before stepping out of his Volkswagen Golf. He grabs a suitcase from the passenger seat. He looks down at the ticket as he walks by different storefronts. He stops in front of a dingy store with a sign on the door that says Spacebook. Interior, Spacebook Day. He opens the door. It's a lot nicer inside than the outside would have you think. An elderly man is behind a help desk.
Welcome to Spacebook. Can I help you?
hi.
Steven walks up to the counter and reads the man's name tag out loud.
Scotty. I won a radio contest and apparently get to go to space. Am I at the right place?
You most certainly are. Can I see your ticket?
Steven hands him the ticket and Scotty begins inspecting it.
Do you have any allergies we should be aware of?
I get a weird itchy tongue after I eat kiwis and pizza. Is that bad?
How about when you eat mangoes?
No.
You should be fine.
He pulls out a pen and paper for Steven to sign.
Please initial here, 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 and sign on the 2 dotted lines.
Steven begins filling out the paperwork.
Once you are done, follow this hall to the end and take a right to get to your terminal. The shuttle leaves in 1 hour, but the captain likes to have everyone ready to go at T-minus 30 minutes.
Sounds great.
He finishes the paperwork and begins to walk down the hall. He stops and turns back to Scotty.
How many times have you gotten a Star Trek reference thrown at you?
726.
Steven just nods in appreciation and begins down the hall again. Scotty pulls out a number counter and puts his thumb on the trigger. Click. Interior, rocket day. Steven fastens his seatbelt. We hear the captain come over the intercom. Welcome aboard, passengers. We will be departing in T-minus 2 minutes. Today's flight will take about 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened. Snacks will be served once we are at cruising altitude. There are no safety instructions in case things go badly, because this is a rocket. This is why I need to read it beforehand. There are no safety instructions in case things go badly, because this is a rocket and we will all probably blow up before decisions can even be made. Thank you for flying Spacebook. Steven closes his eyes and hears the countdown come over the speaker. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Interior, rocket. Steven wakes up still strapped into his rocket chair. His vision crawls back into focus to find a slice of pizza staring back at him, floating toward him in zero gravity.
What? What happened?
His mind clears and he looks around. The pizza is slowly getting closer. Alarmed, Steven notices the pizza for the first time.
Hey! Anyone there?
The pizza draws closer. Steven begins to sweat.
Hey! Hey, what is it? This is some kind of sick joke?
Pizza draws nearer. Steven tries to get out of the chair, but his restraints are still on.
I'm lactose sensitive!
The slice is about a foot away from Steven's face. That gap is slowly deteriorating.
Somebody! Oh, for the love of God!
Steven begins thrashing like a madman and yelling at the top of his lungs. The tip of the pizza slice is inches from his screaming mouth when suddenly it is snatched away. Aaron is upside down and staring at Steven in bewilderment. He has the pizza in one hand and a clipboard in the other. He takes a bite of the pizza while slowly rotating to Steven's orientation.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, I'm allergic. Thank you. No, no, can I get up now? Why am I restrained?
We always restrain the greenies for the first flight in case they pass out, which you did, during liftoff. The human body isn't used to that many G's all at once. Takes
Oh.
years of practice.
Frank floats in, exuding energy, enthusiasm, and the kind of hospitality only reserved for cruise directors.
Ah, good. He's awake. Mr. Steven, is it?
Yeah. Who are you?
I'm the captain of this spacecraft.
Can I
And I'm
please
also
get out
the-
of this chair now?
I'm the captain of this spacecraft, and I'm also the activities coordinator during your trip to the moon base. I'm here to make sure your 3 days with us is packed full of fun.
Frank, you have any of those freeze-dried meals for our passenger here?
What? He didn't like the pizza I left him?
He's allergic.
Ah, okay. Well, I have some.
Frank's
I'm
interrupted.
allergic.
I think Matt's on a minor delay on that line. That was amazing.
No.
You're good. I think you're back now.
Okay, perfect.
All right, we're good. Frank's interrupted by the sounds of alarms blaring. They float over to the window and look out at an enormous alien spacecraft. Cut to exterior, the Sea of Tranquility. Time card, 70 years later. Steven sits on the surface of the moon alone. He longingly looks at planet Earth from afar. A timer goes off on his watch. He glances at it.
Happy birthday to me.
He sighs, stands up, and brushes the moon particles off of his suit. He walks back over to his spaceship, now broken down and dilapidated. He opens the door, and the small alien creature, Bleeblump, jumps out at him and gives him a big hug.
Happy birthday!
Down, boy, down.
Per snuffa air der vanstickle fluffadle.
What do I always say? No loonies in the spaceship.
Fine. What do you want for your birthday?
Steven looks out the window of the ship back at Earth.
I want what I've always wanted. What I've wanted since winning that cursed radio contest and getting on this moon 70 long years ago. I want to go back to Earth. And I want to enter American Ninja Warrior and dedicate my course. Run to Beyonce.
What if I told you that dream could happen?
No, but no. That's impossible.
Is it?
Bleeblump produces an archaic radio from behind his back.
It took me 30 moon years, but I think I fixed it.
Tears welling in his eyes, Steven grabs the radio and turns it on. The signal is weak, but we can just make out a DJ speaking. And that was Lil Nas X's great-grandson with another amazing remix of Old Town Road. Up next, we've got more of your favorite futuristic music tunes. But first, we've got to announce our next contest. Steven stares at the radio in anticipation. The ninth caller will win an all expense paid trip to LA to compete in American Ninja Warrior. Call us now at 1-800-483-2884. Steven dashes over to a tool bench in the ship. He grabs his small flip phone and opens it. There is one small battery bar left.
I gotta make this one count.
Steven presses every button with the purpose and conviction of a true American Ninja Warrior. The phone rings several times. Bleeblump nervously snacks on a handful of nails in the corner. Suddenly, someone picks up. Hello there. Thanks for calling in to PD and the...
Hello. Am I the ninth caller?
There is a pause so long it would make Steven think that floating back to Earth might be faster. Yes, you did. Congratulations. Bleeblump throws what we would call his Bleeblump. Oh my God. Bleeblump throws what we would call his arms into the air and cheers. Steven is dumbfounded.
Oh,
I
wow.
did it. I'm gonna be on the show.
Absolutely, sir. Just tell us now, live on air, your address so we can come pick you up. Steven slyly smiles.
I'm in the northwestern portion of the Sea of Tranquility. My house is next to that rock that looks like Denzel Washington's chin. You can't miss it.
We'll send someone over right away. Steven hangs up the phone and looks at Bleeblump.
It's like we're going home, buddy.
We?
You didn't think I was leaving you here all alone, did you?
Bleeblump smiles.
It's been such a long time since you've been back. What's the first thing you're gonna do when you land?
Steven ponders this question for a moment. He looks off to the distance and answers.
I'm gonna treat my friend to a milkshake.
Steven and Bleeblump hug passionately. We cut to a shot of the moon. A comet flies by in spectacular flashes of color. The theme for American Ninja Warrior plays as we cut to black. Oh my, oh my. Here's the thing.
Oh,
Here's the thing. I'm the one who reads it all beforehand. I'm the one who puts it together, and I was the one who couldn't hold it together. I knew what was gonna happen. I knew what was gonna happen, and I
So
couldn't.
unprofessional.
Very unprofessional. Oh boy.
Um,
It is professional.
Where do we even start?
talk about who did what for
Yeah, this is really, yeah. So I wrote the first couple scenes. I wrote the meditation app stuff, and then all the way through him getting the call that he won.
yes, and I wrote the strip mall dingy spacebook office section with Scotty, and all the way up to the launch.
And I wrote from him waking up till the alarms blaring, all through the pizza episode.
and then I wrote the final scene 70 years later.
Here's the thing. That 70 years later is actually a very useful device for us
Yeah.
because
It
is.
it allows us to seamlessly transition into something and completely ignore all the characters and ideas that Jordan introduced
Yeah,
in
really.
that scene.
That's
I
quite
wasn't, which is-
brilliant.
wasn't even what I was thinking about. Actually, I talked myself down. The initial one was like 30,000 years.
It was very, very Planet of the Apes-esque of you, Max.
Well, yeah, but then I thought I don't want to have to explain how he's immortal, so I just kept it.
Yeah.
Well, what I love is, well, first of all, the fact that American Ninja Warrior is still on 70 years from
I
now.
almost said season like 400. Like I almost
Yeah.
kept thinking of Tooth's number.
Also, I love that he's going to dedicate it to Beyonce, who is absolutely been dead. She's been dead for decades at this point.
Yeah. We got to remember her.
Yeah.
His-
Oh, man.
Hysterical.
Austin,
Yeah.
did you originally have it that it was his birthday, or did you add that in?
So I will say the couple things that I sort of wove in to make things flow a little bit more is, yes, I added it being his birthday.
Okay.
That was not in the original draft.
I would have been shocked.
I added in the thing about him being allergic to pizza because oddly enough, Ryan wrote something where he asked if he was allergic to anything.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Yeah, that did.
And yeah, that actually, and so I just threw pizza into there. And then
Also, the idea like mangoes was the deal breaker on that one is very funny.
yeah. And then I added them seeing an alien spacecraft out the window. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ah,
It wasn't that bad, was it?
Gosh. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way that Jordan had the alien spaceship thing to tee up.
I was hoping that the alarms were caused by an alien spaceship.
Oh, we were
spacecraft.
there for it.
Oh, he's back. And he's muted himself again. and he's rotated.
There we
He's
are.
on-
He's in space.
Yes, you look like you're floating. You're sideways. Oh, there we
I
go.
was. My goodness. Technology is not my friend today. I'm not.
No, this is great. You
Yeah, you're
sound
good.
yeah. This is perfect.
Okay, wonderful.
So
My
Matt,
best
I would love to get your thoughts on.
This masterpiece.
Here's the thing, like Matt is an actor. I mean, this is Matt's passion, and
Yeah.
he obviously is very good at it. So it's mildly insulting to make him read something that no time was put into.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's not true. We did put 1 hour in.
Here we put an hour.
Exactly 1
60
hour.
full minutes.
I'm blown away. I really, really am. That was really special.
Yeah.
Yo, I know. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to dismiss something and say it's not, this or it's not that. And it's easy to like over glorify something like a craft. But what you guys did was really, really spectacular. Like I couldn't even write a paragraph of that. So what you guys do is so, so special. And I am just absolutely blown away by it.
Wow.
It's
thank you.
really, really cool to read something like that. It really is. And it's a hell of a lot of fun,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And we found that it's way more fun when we have we love filmmaking, we love writing. None of us would describe ourselves as actors, so it's a lot
Yes.
more fun to have someone come in and lend some gravitas to something as silly, because to the silliness of it just makes it so much funnier to me.
Oh yeah.
Can I say, Matthew, what you did a really good job of was, I mean, we all have kind of a little bit of a different writing style and different tone to the 4 scenes, and you made it really work. Each scene was very good because you made it work.
Character in each
Yeah,
scene.
you kept that Steven.
You kept the flow, and it was good.
That's really kind. I was really, really thrown off by the 70 years.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know in my head and I couldn't quite see here's where an exercise like this is really fun for me and really, really important because in acting we all have to make choices. We have to make bold choices, and sometimes that's easier and sometimes that's more difficult. But here I'm gonna let you guys in on a little sauce where I couldn't really make a choice very easily, because it was like the 70 years. Okay, he's in space. How does that affect the body? I don't know. He's got a friend, Bleep Bloop. He's walking around.
That's
doing
Bleep
things.
Lump to you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Bleep Lump.
But I couldn't really. I was like, oh my goodness, is he 100 years old? Is he?
It would seem, yes.
I mean, I don't know. That was a
Well-
lot of fun for me to be like, oh, I'm not quite sure how to navigate.
I liked
So that's really, really fun to me.
I liked watching you do that because it was I saw you sort of like sampling things out. Like, is he crazy? Is he exasperated? He's like these things. Like, is he depressed? Is he like, how does he long to go back home? I liked hearing that come out.
Max, Bleep Lump is the most throwaway Rick and Morty character ever created.
Yeah. If you told me there was a character named Bleeblump on Rick and Morty and I just didn't know,
Oh, of course.
I would have been like, well, I guess that makes sense.
Everything about Bleep Lump screams that, but it works really, really well. There's a couple things that I, in the amount of time I had, could not really, I couldn't reconcile with the script. Obviously, we don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
Oh, there is a dark.
Hopefully, I mean, they were all, I think, older than him. So hopefully they've all died of natural causes, very old on the moon, because that's a pretty dark. The other option, of course, is that he and although there's a moment where he this is one thing I want to ask Max about. What is the dynamic between Steven and Bleeblump? Because at the end he says they're best friends, but at the beginning he treats him like a pet.
It could be both. It could be both. I think what had happened was I originally envisioned the scene as like a Calvin and Hobbes comic where he opens the door
Okay.
and Bleeblump like tackles him down like a pet. But by the end, I was like, well, he can talk. So I got to do something with him.
I'd like
And
to
then-
picture this as like a Lost scenario where he's the lone survivor and Bleeblump is the savior. He saves Steven
Perhaps that
to live
happened.
on the moon.
I
Oh.
did. I didn't include it. I had a little bit of backstory for him of like, because like I thought, does the whole species live on the moon? Like, because he says that he's all alone. I like to imagine like maybe they're both shipwrecked. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Good thought.
Yeah, I also, the other thing that I couldn't quite reconcile was the way the script is now. Steven takes off in the rocket believing himself to be alone in the rocket. like he gets on the rocket and no one else is there.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you would think he would have been introduced to the other members of the crew.
That is a
there-
great question.
So in my mind, right? Obviously, this is space. Like space travel's normal. So I took it as this is like a commercial space flight. You know, if they're given tickets on the radio, you know, it's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like tickets to a concert. But I like the idea that he wins this concert and he's the only one on the flight. And it's
Oh, so
and
you
it's
didn't think
just
there would
the-
be anyone on it?
No, I actually did think there would be people. There was I actually wrote like I wanted to give more. I ran out of time, but I wanted to give more detail on like what the rocket actually
So
looked like.
it would be like boarding a plane now, where there
Yeah,
would
that's
be a
what I-
bunch
that's
of
what I
people
felt like.
around.
That's what I kind of felt like it was going to be.
Ryan,
So
did
it'd
you?
be like boarding an empty plane now.
Is there anything scarier than the thought of boarding an empty plane? Just a side note, if I got on a plane that no one was on, I would get immediately off that
Yeah,
plane.
absolutely. Ryan, did you include? Was your joke the Star Trek clicker?
Yeah, yeah.
Very funny. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very, very good.
Also, the part about the explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
Did you write that too? About how like
Oh, the captain comes on.
Yeah,
and
there's
is
no
like,
safety.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
there's
That
no
was
safety plan.
When I was quickly going through everything, that was a line I didn't read. So I was reading that for the first time, and so I was having a lot of trouble getting through it.
I'm glad you liked that one because I felt like that was I was like, yeah, there's not much you could say about the safety of space travel.
And I
Yeah.
love how their biggest concern was food allergies.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and he was able to read whatever the disclaimer was. He only had to sign in like 4 places,
Oh yeah.
which
that
is
is
pretty
a-
amazing. I would think that would be like an 80-page document that you would have to go through.
I have done way less dangerous things and signed way more papers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I also love that in our timeline, it seems that he maybe just went to the radio station, picked up his ticket,
He never
and
went.
drove directly to Spacebook.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So, Ryan, what was the
details.
thought process behind Spacebook looking crappy on the outside?
So if you guys, there's a Netflix show with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, living with yourself,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah. So it was an interesting. I had that kind of stuck in my head, and I also wanted space travel to be. I was intrigued with. They're two extremes. You make it like super elitist, or you make it like very common folk and kind of.
Like taking the Greyhound bus.
Yeah, like that's how I wanted it, I guess, to feel, because I
Which
think
kind
that's
of makes sense. Like, there's nothing about the script that suggests this is particularly far into the future.
yeah,
But
Well,
yeah, I
until-
mean, space travel is clearly very commonplace
yeah.
if they're just giving it away on the
On the radio.
It currently costs millions of dollars to send
Yeah.
someone into space.
What I like is we've picked a world where not only has space travel been made consumer, but radio is still relevant. Like in this timeline, it seems like that window would be so small.
This is not the future. This is an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Clearly. Oh man.
It's
Um,
satellite radio.
Yeah, Sirius XM. I was sad that I couldn't pay off the divorced plot or the annulled subplot.
Yeah, that was annulled. Well, no, they just broke up.
Oh yeah.
They just didn't get married. Yeah,
I even considered
sort of.
including a girl.
I
A girl.
is Bleeblump not a girl? Yeah, well, I kind of was trying to establish. I also think that my tone was not quite right for what the rest of the script delivered. But I was trying to kind of establish this idea of like juxtaposing him canceling this trip that he would have really been looking forward to,
Right.
and immediately winning a spot on a trip that he would actually be excited for. So that was the only reason that was in there.
And then that pays off because he's stuck in the mundane in both the beginning to end. He's stuck in the mundane structure of his life, and he gets a radio contest to go somewhere more exciting. The message truly being a grass is always green on the other side.
For sure. Grass is always greener on the other planet.
There's definitely no grass on the moon.
I don't know. There's a sea of tranquility there, so I don't know.
Yeah. I just want to read this without laughing one time because it's one of the greatest bits of scene description I've ever read in my entire life, which is Bleeblum throws what we would call his arms into the air and cheers.
Well,
That's just beautiful.
I just didn't know how the anatomy worked for him.
I like the repeat line. The pizza draws nearer.
Yeah, that's good. And he's like locked in, so like it's just gonna like slowly go into his mouth.
See, out of all of this, that might be the scene that like I would love to really see that film.
Yeah, that's really
like that
smart.
is somebody waking up on a spaceship, not knowing anything about them, and them just freaking out as pizza gets closer to them was funny. And Matt's like escalation there was amazing.
I loved it.
He was so afraid of it.
It's got to be terrifying. It's got to be.
You'd think, right?
Especially with that allergy.
Itchy tongue.
Sensitivity is what he said.
Yeah.
I like as a specificity. It's not even like he has an intolerance to it.
Which as if once the pizza gets there, he has to eat it.
And it's gonna be, and it will be instant diarrhea.
Exactly. And he's strapped down, so
Yeah, there's no coming back.
and everything floats to the top in space. So that is truly a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
So
Oh
true.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. This yeah, well, and I think what I also love about this process and doing it this way is something like this we would never write it if we thought about it for longer than the amount of time we're given. And I think there's something so fun about that. Like
Yeah,
it really
absolutely.
allows us to be our full silliest selves, which we like to do. So
Absolutely.
it works out well. Matthew, buddy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. That
I
was so
can't
much
tell
fun.
you how much it means a lot. Matt and I met like it's been like 10 years now almost, I think, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I just laid at his feet for hours holding a boom mic in a theater.
That was our meet cute.
It was. It was. And so to get to do this, what a blessing. So
Yeah.
to the people watching, thank you. As always, we are going to be doing this every other week now. So there will be more info coming out on that very, very soon. And hopefully we will talk Matthew into coming back again. So that's my goal, at least.
Yeah.
I'll be here.
Fantastic. All right, everybody. Thanks for
Okay.
watching. See you next time.